You believe that men can get pregnant, and men who are pregnant can not only take good care of themselves, but also be more like a mother than a woman in the whole process of parenting. But you can never imagine that the reason why Steve got pregnant was his own request. 2 weeks ago, all the members of Queime Park came to the bar for a meal. It's rare for the head of the club to treat guests, so everyone was drinking. As a result, this is the case. Steve also fell in love with Eitel. As a famous seahorse in Square 10, Eitel said that after a long time, sex is not a factor. However, Steve didn't think so, because he had physical contact, so in his consciousness, Eitel was his girlfriend. Obviously, Eitel looked down on him. Unexpectedly, Steve, the old man, not only wanted to move in with Eitel, but also bought a couple's tombstone. He planned to spend the rest of his life with her. 2 weeks passed like this. Eitel tested pregnant. After learning this news, Steve was excited. He didn't know that Connie was sharpening a knife. However, Eitel did not plan to have this child, because he had no feeling for Steve at all. And he contacted the doctor early on. He was going to get rid of this child. And the so-called doctor was the only doctor in the town. He was disqualified as a doctor. The child was killed soon. Plus, this was Eitel's 14th time. As a result, Eitel didn't expect that Steve, who was particularly fond of his child, would cooperate with the doctor behind Eitel's back. He stuffed his child into his stomach. This is called professionalism. From then on, Steve began to focus on pregnancy. The whole person was like a pregnant mother. Because he is a male, the ovaries in the body can accelerate the pregnancy. So Steve's belly grew only a week. Seeing this, Eitel was so angry. Because of Steve's decision, he forced him to be a mother. But he couldn't help it, because the child was in Steve's belly. He had no power at all. However, it was more murderous than this. Little Bear was even more jealous. I put your picture and Steve's picture. From then on, Eitel had an extreme idea. He deliberately came to me without 4 arms. Let him be a baby and give it to Steve to experience. He wanted to have a baby with Steve. I didn't expect Steve to be in this regard. Although he had no experience, he was very patient. No matter how difficult it was for the arms dealer, he could take good care of him. He even moved the arms dealer. Eitel chose to go out on his own. He wanted to take good care of Steve. He deliberately took him on a roller coaster. Then he took him to dance. He even kicked him from a high place. I didn't expect that after these tortures, the fetus in his belly was not only hairless, but also healthier than a normal fetus. But according to the doctor, the fetus in Steve's belly was not his, but Eitel's ex-boyfriend. After learning this news, Eitel immediately changed his face. It's not because his ex-boyfriend is a rich second generation. It turned out that on the night he was drunk, Eitel's boyfriend just broke up, so he gave Steve a chance to take advantage of it. After learning the truth, Steve immediately called for abortion, but he was stopped by a couple of people, and this quarrel was divided into 2 waves, until Steve's water broke. This dispute was stopped. Steve was soon sent to the hospital. It turned out that the doctor was not professional. He had to learn how to deliver, but the doctor hadn't learned yet. Steve had already given birth, but it was not a baby. It was a 2.3 kilograms tumor. It turned out that the doctor helped Eitel to be a human food. By the way, he cut off the ovaries. And then he took the ovaries as a fetus, and put it directly into Steve's belly. So it was all a misunderstanding, and the so-called DNA test report was actually made by the medical department. Well, I'm keeping it.